Welcome everyone to the Action Network horse racing preview for this weekend's Haskell Stakes, the $1 million Grade 1 event taking place at Monmouth Park on Saturday. Post time is 5:45 p.m. I'm Jeremy Pond, the horse racing editor for the Action Network, joined by my friend and your friend, TVG analyst and handicapper, Andie Biancone. How are you? Welcome back.
Thanks, Jeremy. It's good to be back. I'm so excited here from my Holiday Inn Express room at in Solana Beach at Del Mar. So super happy to be joining you up with this for the Haskell.
Yeah, and you were in Gulfstream for the winter. TVG's brought you back out, and this time we brought you out West Coast. You brought a few horses with you, including Diamond Oops. You're out there training, riding your horses, obviously assisting in the training. East Coast to West Coast, how does it feel to be out there in California, and how's Del Mar shaping up with obviously a big weekend this weekend, opening weekend, huge meet, highly anticipated, big fields? How excited are you, and what kind of vibe are you guys getting around the track right now?
Very excited. I mean, you just feel the energy from the beginning of the week, from when I arrived to now. It's just a complete shift in energy, just a lot more horses on the track, a lot of things getting ready, really good energy build up coming up to opening day. Definitely got some good races, very full field. So that's exciting. And I actually grew up in California, so this is kind of like a little homecoming for me. I mean, last time I was here, I was like hot walking for my dad. So it's pretty exciting to be back, but definitely a lot of work. But it's good. It's all good.
So everything comes full circle in life sometimes, right? You're back where it began, back to your roots. So, but looking forward to Saturday, back on the East Coast in Oceanport, New Jersey. We've got the 1 mile and 1/8 stakes race. Obviously, I said Grade 1. 8 horses, includes 4 Grade 1 winners. The winner of this race will also earn a spot in the Breeders' Cup Classic as part of the Win and You're In Challenge series that the Breeders' Cup has. Right now, post position wise, we're going to go right down the line. Number 1 post, Cyberknife, 6-1 odds. Number 2, Taiba, the early favorite, 7-5 odds. Number 3, One Time Willard, long shot at 30-1. Number 4, Howling Time, he's 10-1. Number 5, King of Hollywood, 30-1. Number 6, Florida Derby winner, White Abarrio at 5-1. Number 7, Jack Christopher, the unbeaten horse, 4-for-4 going into this race. He is 3-2 and just a tick down off the favoritism from Taiba in the morning line odds that were sent yesterday during the post-position draw. And number 8 is your long shot, Benevigo, another one at 20-1. Taiba comes into this race, lightly raced, run 3 times, won his maiden, then won the Santa Anita Derby, then finished 12th in the Kentucky Derby, hasn't run since. Obviously, his connections, Bob Baffert is back with him off of the Tim Mack team barn. They've shipped the horse back to Bob. Bob won't be in at Monmouth this weekend. He'll be handling horses in Del Mar. 7-5 favorite for a horse that finished 12th in the Derby, going 1.25 miles. Does not seem to me that this horse should be the favorite. I think you and I are probably in both accordance that Jack Christopher is probably going to go off as the likely favorite. What are your thoughts on Taiba? The distance he's going to go here. Is he the deserving favorite, or is there other elements being brought into play here that kind of, the Baffert effect that does have on some trained horses that, Irad Ortiz would on a horse that maybe shouldn't be 5-2, it should be 6-1, but when you got the leading jockey in the world on your horse, the number's going to drop. What are your thoughts on Taiba?
Jeremy, I agree with you 100%. I mean, I think there's a little bit of Baffert effect going into play here. I included this horse in my Derby picks just based on the hype. I mean, obviously 103 first time out. Obviously, I always say California numbers are, in my opinion, inflated. I mean, that 103, yes, the fractions were incredibly fast. He won by a large margin, but, who did he beat? I don't know. I just think California numbers, Baffert effect, all that, it's same kind of gist, a lot of hype with, a whole lot of, I don't know. But I picked him just based on that hype going into the Derby. And then when I saw him in the post parade, he was one of my least favorite horses. I was like, toss Taiba. I think I even preferred the other Baffert over Taiba just because I just didn't like him at all. And I'm going to stand by that going into the Haskell. I mean, the Kentucky Derby is not an easy race. It's can be very mentally taxing to some horses. They come out of that race different. So we really don't know how this horse has reacted. Maybe he's good coming off that break. Maybe it kind of affected him differently, especially horses like him who are sitting on wins like that. They're never truly tested. And then suddenly they're thrown to the sharks. They reach this threshold of pain for the first time. They're truly tested. And truly good horses reach that pain threshold and they absolutely love it. Like they want to be there. That's like the runner's high. They want to be in that little zone, and then they keep going and they improve. But Taiba, the Kentucky Derby was really the first time he was tested. Right. He might say, never mind. I don't want that runner's high. I'm fine being average. A lot of horses are like that. Yeah. So I don't think he deserves to be the 7-5 favorite by any means.
In historical purposes about Taiba, only one winner had fewer than 3 starts beforehand entering this race. And it was back in 1970 on a horse named Twice Worthy, when the race was actually called the Monmouth Invitational Handicap. So you got to go back 45th, was that 1970? It's 52 years since this has happened. So obviously from a historical perspective, not really in his favor. However, transitioning into the horse we both, I think, believe should be the favorite now and will probably go off as the favorite is the undefeated 4-for-4 Jack Christopher, Chad Brown trainee, jockey Jose Ortiz aboard. This horse hasn't done a whole lot wrong. He's dealt with a few little injuries that kicked him off the Derby trail, missed some key races, but this horse is as sharp as any 3-year-old in the country right now. Andie, what are your thoughts on Jack Christopher?
Absolutely. I mean, this horse has been, like you said, you can't fault him whatsoever, has run very impressive numbers, won by huge margins. I mean, opened up 10 lengths in the Woody Stevens, just galloped, hand ride, made it look so easy, ears pricked. I was at Churchill when he won the Pat Day Mile, and he just did it so easy as well, ears pricked, like just absolutely in hand, So, I mean, people could say, oh, the distance, what about the distance? But
right.
Chad Brown has wanted to stretch this horse out from the beginning. He was a Derby horse for him. He got scratched at the Breeders' Cup. And from there, they haven't been able to stretch him out because of his injuries or whatever. So they gave him that time. They did right by him. And they brought him back slowly. And here's their chance. They're stretching him out to that 1.8 distance. So, yeah, I don't think this stretch out in distance is even going to be an issue for this horse at all, Jeremy.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows, too, this is the first time that Jack Christopher will go 2 turns in his career. And I agree with you. In fact, I feel like this horse will get better with distance potentially. And I think this could set up a situation not really looking too forward down the line, but this could turn into a Jack Christopher flight line scenario come Breeders' Cup, right? Where they faced off each other and are probably the Breeders' Cup Classic. And that'll be interesting to see. Just backing up there, talking about Bob Baffert and his history in the Haskell. He's won 9 of these. He's had 2 second-place finishes. Painter, Bayern, American Pharoah, and Authentic were on the lead or close to the lead when they won. These are all big-time marquee horses. Obviously, there's a Triple Crown winner in there. Do you think we're going to see that similar type of scenario? Because when I drew up my pace projections, the way I look to see this playing out, I don't see any deep closers here, Andie. I think we're going to see somebody more to that closer to the pace, the stalking, somebody who's within 2 to 3 lengths of the lead, if not in the lead. How do you kind of see this race shaping up? Similar way or anything different?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a couple of horses, who are going to try to go. I mean, the number 3 One Time Willard, that horse is coming off sprints. Like he's probably going to be up there. Taiba's probably going to go. Jack Christopher should show speed. It's definitely going to be a very speedy race. There's some horses who like to sit off the pace, but like you said, there's not a lot of deep closers. But anyways, that Monmouth track is tricky, changes every day. Obviously, I think we have to look at the history, as you were saying, and there's been a lot of horses who were front running who have won. So I think we kind of have to look at it like that.
Yeah. And then obviously with One Time Willard, I think Paco Lopez is aboard the number 3, the long shot. You mentioned he will go to the lead most likely. Paco's an aggressive rider, as everyone in the world knows. I'm not telling you something that you don't know or anybody else. Does he get a little physical with Taiba in the 2? He's got 2 favorites right next to him on the gate. Taiba, and then you've got Arkansas Derby winner, and you got Cyberknife with Florent Giroux on the rail. He could really cause problems potentially for those 2 out of the gate, which then again creates a better scenario for a horse like Jack Christopher or even Florida Derby winner White Abarrio, who's coming in at 5-1 for Saffie Joseph Jr. What do you think about that scenario coming out of the gate? The first quarter mile, is that a scenario where you think one-time Willard could cause some issues?
Possibly. I mean, I'd definitely be a little more concerned for the inside horses like Cyberknife, being up on the rail like that. I think, Paco's very aggressive, and he's not afraid to take his place or whatever he needs to do. So, obviously getting up into the rail is kind of more the move. So I'd be more in fear for a horse like Cyberknife, especially with, like you said, the favorite to the inside. He's surely, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to kind of, give that horse a run for his money early on.
Right.
I don't mind White Abarrio in here.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I think he's definitely going to be like 1, 2, 3, probably 2, 3, but he's going to be right there.
Is that a horse, White Abarrio, obviously coming off a disappointing Kentucky Derby? Is he going to get better? Is he the type of horse you think is going to get better, or is he a Florida horse? He did very well on the Florida tracks. Surface is obviously, he prefers the Gulfstream track.
Yeah.
Maybe he loves the Monmouth dirt. I mean, we don't know. These horses, he's never run there. Is he the horse, if you're looking for somebody outside of, say, Taiba and Jack Christopher, the clear favorites, is he the horse that you would probably target, or would you target Cyberknife?
I would target White Abarrio. I think Cyberknife is just a little too inconsistent for my likings. You just never know. It's very unpredictable. I mean, although White Abarrio was disappointing in the Derby, he still ran a 73 buyer, which is not complete garbage. And he's been very consistent in his form. He's always right there. He always seems to try. He had a good race, in the Ohio Derby following the Derby. So that he's mentally handled that race well. He's digested it, and he's still running well to his ability, still ran a 90 after the Kentucky Derby, and hopefully should still improve from there. It seems like the horse is in really good form, and he's kind of one who can kind of sit, and, he has some tactical speed, but can also kind of sit a little bit. So right. I like him, and I like the Joel Rosario factor. Not gonna lie, I like the Joel Rosario factor.
Can't beat having one of the top jockeys in the world of horse either. And I think I agree with you. White Abarrio, I think will probably have less trouble coming in, in that first quarter mile. First half. I think he will be able to get in position where he wants to be. And I'll be using White Abarrio in all my exotics, which now leads me into the final segment of what we're talking about here today, Andy. Where are we going with our picks? I'm going to land on Jack Christopher. I just feel like he's the best horse. I've always rated him. I think he is probably one of the 3 best 3-year-olds in the country. I see him having a monster campaign if he stays healthy. I just think that this horse has recovered from a few knocks, and he's healthy now. He's looked great. He's trained well. I'm going to land on him. I'm going to play him across the board. He's going to be in all my exotics. I probably will not use Taiba in the second slot. If I'm doing an exacta, I would probably recommend going with Jack Christopher and White Abarrio on top, and then probably tossing everybody in underneath. I think you might be able to catch a price with somebody like Howling Time, Benevengo we discussed, somebody that could pick up the pieces if the pace is just ghastly, in crazy fractions in the first quarter, and 3/4 of a mile. Where are you landing with your top pick right now, do you think?
I'm Jack Christopher top pick, White Abarrio as well, right there. And then, I mean, I think Taiba could take a piece of it. Maybe has more quality than some of these other horses in here, but I just don't think he's like the winner here. I don't think he's a clear winner. Yeah. So I'm in complete agreement with you, Jeremy.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. Usually when we're in agreement, we do pretty well as a team. So Andy, it's great seeing you. Chances are we'll be back next week for the Jim Dandy at Saratoga, another massive summer race. That's part of a huge campaign across the country: Saratoga, Del Mar, Monmouth. We've got everything going on. So this won't be the last time we see you. We're gonna bring everything into the Travers. We're gonna have a good summer together. Enjoy Del Mar. Enjoy opening weekend. You've been a blast to have here. So good luck with everything. Good luck with your horses and your father as well.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. Looking forward to next week.